one root cause of underdevelopment of black children is child abuse. Majority of all the incidents that occur in the hood, particularly the violent incidents, but even the sub-processes that lead to the violence, is all due to one fact: child abuse. 90% of black kids, which thus they develop into adults, for all child abuse. And let's just face the facts. In the black community, beating the shit out of your kids, that's common practice. In fact, beating your kid is a sign of being a good adult or a good parent. So how can we make a change? How can we really think that we're going to develop and we're just going to unify the black race and we're going to bring down the so-called white supremacist system, right? How can we actually do that when we're producing inferior kids? Now, I'm not saying they're inferior because of their skin complexion. I'm not a racist like some of these white folks, right? I'm saying that they're inferior because how they are raised. They're raised to be weak. The boys are raised to be milquetoast, soft, obedient, right? Don't think. Walk around without a backbone. Of course, we understand that who raised that son was the mother, right? But even a daughter, she's raised to be strong, right? Industrious, smart, elegant, right? And the world should be the oyster for her. This is why you see so many of the black females outperforming their black male counterpart, right? That's one. But see, that everyone knows that if you study anything about what's going on in the black community. So that's common sense. Here's what I find is very counterintuitive, is that child abuse. Now, blacks treat child abuse as some white thing, but it's not. It's not. When you beat that child, when you humiliate your child, you're destroying the child development process. So when I see mothers, black mothers, I see this a lot. I'm in the DC area. I would see mothers with their 13, 14, 15-year-old daughters, and they may have gotten into it. I don't know exactly how a lot of these confrontations begin, but I do know how they interact with each other once the confrontations begin. And I've seen mothers, a lot of black mothers, call their daughter a bitch, refer to their daughter as a bitch in front of their daughters. I've seen mothers, beat the dog shit out of the child or their daughter, by cutting her hair, beating her like she's fighting some other female on the street. Now, if you're from the hood or if you've even been around the hood, I know you've seen this. You might not have seen it as much as I've had, but I'm quite sure you have seen this, and I'm quite sure it's going on in the redneck communities too, which we all know. And, according to the studies, I believe it's called the ACE study. You can Google it, check it out for yourself. But I think a lot of these incidents in these studies are coming from the middle class. So even middle class whites are beating their kids. So it's not really a race thing. It's just that I'm talking about blacks specifically, because who else is dealing with child abuse in the black community? Especially when blacks think child abuse is a white phenomenon. All right? Blacks think beating your child 9, 10, 8, with extension cords, switches, any object that's close by at the time of the beating is okay. It's really okay. And then if that child goes and reports to the authorities what happened, I've seen mothers turn on their own child and say that child tried to put me in jail, as if this child is some high-functioning adult that knows what's really going on. So this child is trying to bring them down. I've seen mothers this way, and I'm quite sure you have also seen mothers this way. If you've been around in the black community, period. Now, this thing is child abuse is much more than just abuse as far as in physically. Then we have the emotional, and then we have the self-esteem part, where when your mother's calling you a bitch, it's kind of tough for you to develop into a woman, right? Or to to a lady, you're probably going to take the bitch route, right? Same way for a boy. All your life you've been called a nigga. Nigga. That's all your life. That's all you've been called. A nigga. You ain't shit but like your daddy, right? I think that before this person chooses to become a doctor, they may become like their father, especially, you know, if the description of their father is a gangster, right? But see, this is what's happening every day and generation after generation. That's why you see so many blacks when they encounter the police, such as the incident that happened in Missouri. The boy, he's a good kid, he's not in the game. But they released a video of this dude going in and robbing a liquor store. You know, if you follow that case, the Ferguson case, right? It's the same way with a Trayvon. Oh, Trayvon was a good kid, he just had a little trouble, but, you know, he had fucking straight L's. Been suspended from school. But they'd tell you that's a good kid. Right? Because no one in the black community wants to deal with the child abuse, just the downright, it's pretty much a war between parents and kids in the black community. And the parents are beating and destroying these children by the time they get a teenage age. This is the reason why you can see so many of these kids out there fighting. This is the reason why you can see so many of these kids, shooting and killing each other. Majority of the killings, majority of the crime is done by a 16-year-old child. And he's doing heinous crimes. Like, he's not out there just, busting windows or joyriding. No. He's strapped with a 40. And I guarantee you, majority of these kids, if you trace it back, right down into the family, and did a research, you will find out they were probably sexually abused, definitely physically abused, definitely emotionally abused, and was taught that destructive behavior. And this shit's going to continue and continue. Again, I'm going to say it again. The root cause of all the violence, the root cause of all the evilness in the black community is because these abusers who were formerly abused, who later then became abusers. Period. You get abused as a child. If you don't go and get psychiatric help, you will become an abuser. There's a great 90% chance that you will become an abuser. And you will or both abuse your child and your spouse. And this is one of the main root causes of so many dysfunctional blacks, so many hood, ghetto mentality blacks, even the ones that somehow crawled out of that gutter and make it to college and get a good job. And you see how they respond to just normal things. You'd be like, wow, why are you so angry and so mad and willing to hurt people? Because someone said something? Because someone said your name, so you want to go to jail and lose your job behind it? But this is the thinking. This is the thinking because you've been abused as a child and you did not go and seek counseling. You've been abused so much as a kid that you believe as an adult that this is culture and this is how it should be. And those who don't do that, like, who sends Timmy to the corner for timeout, you laugh. Now, Timmy might have his issues growing up as an adult, but you, as a person that's been abused, will have much more issues. Definitely in the trusting issue, definitely being able to empathize and sympathize, right? We're raising sociopaths. We really are. This is why, you can see the things you can see and black folks don't blink, right? I'm talking about you could go into any hood and see someone just getting their ass kicked in the street corners and black folks all look out and watch the fight, laugh, giggle, have a good time, right? They record it now and calling it World Star in the video. Like, this is normal. Social media is just only a reflection of what's been going on before the technology was available. If you grew up in the hood, you know what I'm talking about. Trust me, I know right now you got a smirk on your face because you know what I'm talking about. It's fights all the time in the hood. This is common. These These people are ready for war. Like, they should be put in the military. Killing someone ain't no big thing for them. Their issue is when someone dies. You know what their issue is that the person that they didn't want to die is the one that died. That's why they want it. Black folks in death, hey, black folks don't give a fuck about that shit. We are producing inferior children, which leads to inferior adults. Now, some of the children is making that transition to adulthood will walk, will crawl off the sewer or jump out the crab in the barrel mentality or blossom into something and, try to give back. But that's a remnant. A remnant. That's a number. The fact of the matter is 90%, 95% is going to stay the same. And this is why when they beat their children, they tell you, well, my father beat me. This is the right thing to do. But it doesn't change behavior. It doesn't. When you beat your children, all you're doing is setting your children up to be violent people in high school. That's all. That's all. Now, you might not know they're in high school bullying motherfuckers. You might not know that they're in high school probably getting their ass kicked, right? Or doing both. You might not know these things, but it's happening. It's happening because you've been beating your child since 9 years old. You've been cursing and acting just unruly in front of your child. So your child is only going to mimic that behavior. See, that whole, adage or the proverbial statement, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's true. It doesn't. It doesn't. It does not. So when you see a child, if you by chance a teacher or you someone that used to be, a youth counselor, I used to be a youth counselor, and you got a child in your face calling you a motherfucking bitch, I will beat your ass. You don't want to meet the motherfucking parents. I'm letting you know right now. I don't want to meet the daddy, the mama. In fact, I'm not even going to talk to that child no more. I'm just going to move on in life. That's a lost cause. See, other blacks would tell me that I'm wrong and I'm judging and they need help, especially the black bitches, these hotep bitches, these hotep sociologist bitches will always, they're so quick, oh, and the child just needs love. If they only understood the level of effort it takes for one to be damaged, to be abused as a teenager, as a young child, then becoming an adult, it's going to be very difficult for that person to change their life. I'm not saying it's impossible, but the level of effort it's going to take will probably be one of the most hardest tasks that one individual could take. Because you're dealing with yourself and you're dealing with your fears and you're dealing with all the pain and the abuse that you've been suppressing all these years. It takes courage to walk that path. So to think that any average person can do it is nonsensical. That's why majority of people don't change. And they start to justify the very abuse that they received and say it was okay. Why? Because I'm not in jail. I'm not in prison like Pookie and Ray Ray, so I guess the ass whooping worked. But what they didn't realize is Pookie and Ray Ray received ass whippings day in and day out, and it changed their behavior. Thus, which led them to prison. So you hear blacks say this shit all the time, that whoopings is the reason why they, in particular, that individual, and probably if they're talking about the group, is the reason why so many kids are doing good, because they're getting ass whippings. But they never look into the research of, okay, well, what about all the black men that are in and out of prison all their life? Were they receiving ass whippings? Well, yes. What about the black men that is out of jail? They have a father? No. Majority of black men is in and out of prison are caught up in the penal system, never had a father. Never. But the majority of black men that are successful have a father. But who's comparing those studies? Very, very, very few. You know why? Because if you are a cherry picker, if you're someone that already have a presupposition that something should work, you're just going to cherry pick in reality to find support that assumption. All right? But then now, if you're truly looking for the truth, you will eventually find that child abuse or whooping your child objectively whooping a black child is one of the worst things you can do. Because they're already living in a violent community. They're going to be taught very early on how to fight, curse, fuck. And now you're going to add on more because you're going to be whooping their ass, cursing and fucking in front of them. And then you reprimand that child when they get older and they become a failure as a failure. But you raised that child. Now, I understand that there is again, anomaly of children that can be raised in just good situations in all theoretical perspectives, and for some reason, it just didn't work out for that child. That child ended up in the penal system and a deadbeat, right? But that's still 1 or 2, 3, 4% in my estimation that happens in the population. It shouldn't be where we are right now, where 50-40% of black males are dropping out of high school. And then we got to have a motherfucking debate on these numbers real or not real. How the fuck? I mean, it's common sense that it's happening. I mean, where else these individuals are going? All right, we don't see the numbers in reflection in high school, college matriculation, right? So, and we don't see it in job attainment, but we do see it in the prison system, right? And if you go and pull up the data of inmates, black men, majority of them don't have a high school diploma, which only common sense would say, well, it makes sense. If you don't have a high school diploma, what else you going to do? It's just that simple. Or they have a GED. But dealing with the child abuse situation, who is really going to walk up to a black mother and tell her, stop yelling at your goddamn kids all the time? Who's doing that? Nobody. And honestly, including myself. I mean, I've tried a couple times, and I damn near was put in a situation that I was going to have to put down the alpha, the father. Like put him down like a mutt dog. Because that's one thing I would tell you a deadbeat dad would do, regardless of how savage. He could be fucking his own goddamn kids. There's one thing I could say about these motherfucking deadbeats. You would think this nigga didn't give a fuck about his children because he hasn't came over to pick them up, provided any type of subsistence, right? Provided any type of material that they need to survive, right? And then here you are, youth counselor, first job, well, it wasn't my first job, but job I did while I was in school. And you go into family counseling with this family, and father never shows up until the day that you say something as a man to that child that man should be doing something. And sure enough, who popped up? Pookie showed up. And that Pookie motherfucker was a big dude. I'll never come forget that confrontation. Showed up to my job and everything, He gave me what he had to say. I looked that man in his mouth, and I looked that man right in his face and said, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Come back when I clock out, though, so we can have a better discussion. I clocked out, we had a discussion, and I told him straight up what was going to happen to him and what was going to happen to his children. Dude got unruly, And I thought that I was going to have to go and grab my shit. But I realized that he was just a bitch-ass nigga who was raised by his mama, and, he just wanted to talk his gums. But it never ceased to amaze me that he jumped out there to prove that he's this big daddy, all this, and he got issues, got all this shit, they got all these excuses. But the fact of the matter is he doesn't care about those children. The fact of the matter is the mother didn't care about those children. The fact of the matter is black people do not care about their children, because if they did, they would not have kids without a financial security net. They wouldn't have kids when the mother wouldn't have a kid by a dude that she don't even know his last name. She doesn't even know about his family. Why are black children being born in the most worst situations more times than not? Is it only a sign to me as a person that's examining these people that these people are sick and they're not thinking. Their critical thinking skills is non-existent, and everything they're doing is instinctual. Is no different from that lion that's in the Serengeti in Kenya. He is just searching to survive, just like they are just searching to survive. They're not thinking as human beings to separate us from animals. They quit thinking. And maybe from all the abuse, the brain shut down on average for many blacks. I don't know. But to not target at child abuse is one of the root cause, or actually I would say the root cause, but it's definitely the top root cause, but you can go deeper in that, needs to be addressed. If you're really serious about ending violence in our communities, well, I propose sterilization, but that's not an option. And damn it, we need to reduce child abuse. Beating your child should not be an option. Getting a stitching cord and extension cord. Do you understand that? Do you understand? I hope the individuals that not from the hood hear this video and make it to this point. Do you understand that when the majority of black children, whether they are male or female, are getting hit with a stitching cord, and those parents think they're justified by it? They really do. But let a cop whoop they want their asses, all of a sudden it's racism, right? It's funny that the things that apply to them as an adult is different because they're an adult, but no, it's not. You know, there's someone higher than you, parent, right? So when you get out of line, someone should be whooping your ass too, right? But we do as a society though. It's called, we just don't whoop your ass anymore. We just punish you by a citation, or a cop whoop your ass and arrest you, or something like that. Right? It's not someone going to chain you down and beat you and swallow you like they do in ancient times, right? Or how they do in some of these Middle East countries. See, the child abuse is not just also the physical part, right? Like that's what I've been discussing majority of the time. But I would love for it to start there first, But it also is the emotional abuse. I mean, you're scarring your child when you call your child names. You're scarring your child when you always is, punishing your child for just common sense shit that children do. I mean, I've seen parents, definitely mothers, the majority of the time it's black women that's doing the abuse. The child won't stop crying. That's what she was saying. The child didn't stop crying, so, she started poking at the motherfucking child's arm or something. I don't know what the fuck they do. I mean, terrorizing the kid. But they claim they love their children. I mean, black people would tell you that. Oh, I love my kid. I love. Well, they don't love their children. They don't. That's why, they're so quick to throw it on God or, whatever. I'm pray for them and pray for them. That's only a sign that they're not involved in a child's life. Anytime you talking to a parent, and that parent says that they don't know how that child got to where they are, and they just going to pray, they're done. You should know that they never loved that kid in the sense of, building that bond, that parent-to-child bond. It was never there. They just had a stranger, living with them those 18 years until, they turned 18 and left. This is one of the reasons why we got to stop having that kids being born, because black women are not stable, right? See, a black man can be abused, but he's still more likely he's going to be stable, He may be emotionally off, right? And he may also still carry some of the child abuse behavior for us and whooping the child. But he's not going to go to the extreme as a lot of these black women are on average, where they call, a black father is calling his daughter a bitch at 9. You're not going to find that, man. It's going to be very tough for you to find those cases. I'm just going to say it that way. It's going to be very easy for you to find that case when it comes to a black woman and her daughter. All right? We need more men there, and we can't even really argue. We need certain types of men, but at this point, it's that bad. Child abuse is something that, and one thing about child abuse that you got to remember is the ramifications of child abuse doesn't show up until maybe 10, 20 years later. So a lot of times these motherfuckers will come off normal between 18 or once they become an adult between 18 and 25. So they may go to school. I'm talking the ones that actually crawl out the hood and try to become something. They may, go to school. They may end up with a good job, different career. Things seems like everything is going right. Then when they get around 27, 28, 29, and you start watching them in relationships, that's where you're going to find one of the true signs of someone that's been abused. Watch how they interact, not just in intimate relationships, right? I'm talking about just relationships with other human beings, period. Namely the opposite of who they are. It's the time. When you if you have a friend and every time you have a confrontation with your friend, I mean, friendships, you always want to have confrontations, but when you have a confrontation with your friend and you notice that they very quick to cut you off, or they very quick to cut you down, or they very quick to go like all balls in on your ass, and they treat you like a stranger, but you think, oh no, we go way back, right? It's because they cannot bond with you until they deal with that abuse. That's one of the greatest signs. The greatest signs of an adult that's been abused is how they interact with other human beings. Just watch them. All right? But in the hood sense, what happens is the ones who were not able, or did not choose to crawl out the hood, right? What happens to them is, if they make it 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, right? And they're going to go through the bouts with the law, right? Because that's the lifestyle they're going to choose. They're going to be in and out, right? And say they only get a 3-4 year sentence. They come out 27, 28 or so, got locked up by 22, 23. This is really the life cycle for these niggas, in these environments. 28, 29 is when they start trying to get their life together. A lot of them find Jesus or Muhammad, right? And now they trying to get their stuff together, probably go back at the GED or try to go into some vocational or trying to find, to get in one of these journeyman apprenticeship programs, et cetera, whatever they're trying to do to get their life together. And a lot of them go through their religion channel. Christianity, they go to their church. Muslims, they go to their little mosque, right? Now, you would think that these people, okay, they're trying to get their life together. But what happens with a lot of times with these individuals is that because they didn't deal with all the abuse, and then because they went through a lot of other abuse because the lifestyle they lived between 18 and 24, or 18 and 28, right? 18 and 27, a lot of them will all end up dependent on alcohol or a drug or substance. Right? That's it. Now, they're all, pretty much the same, even the middle class ones who do crawl off the hood in the middle class, right? They all going to use substance abuse, but a lot of your crackheads that you find in the hood, that's who they are. A lot of their crackish behavior is behavior that they learned when they were a child being abused. So they ran to crack to hide from it. And then, of course, we understand the powerful impact crack has on our human being, right? And this is why a lot of the drug users, right, and drug dealers, they all are the same people. Crackheads are ex-drug dealers, period. It's very seldom you're going to find someone who was just a drug user at 18, consumer only, and you never sold drugs. Usually they start off as drug dealers and they become drug consumers, and the cycle completes, and that's how the cycle stays the same. And they replenish to each of the positions, right? You go from a drug dealer to a drug user to a crackhead, and then you try to find salvation, your life change, and it happens all over again, and we do it for all new generation. However, the cycle stays the same, and the consequences stay the same, and what we see is always the same, and nothing changes, right? This is what is going on because of child abuse, all because of child abuse. Simply because mothers believe in beating their kids until they got blood coming out of their face. Simply because we got fathers out here grabbing belts, whooping their kids out in the street because they feel like that's what they should do because they got caught breaking curfew. This is how this is. This is what is the byproduct of it. Child abuse. But who is going to deal with child abuse? No one. They just just going to keep writing their reports, and no one's going to listen to those reports. And hey, the people who listen, children gets better. People who don't, stay the same. That's why we got social services there waiting for them to take those kids. There's an all-out war on black children. And that war is not the white man. You know, maybe at one point in time it was. It's the black parent. They're destroying these kids before they even get a chance to come out the womb. You got black women who are deliberately having kids by Pookie and Ray Ray. You got Pookie and Ray Ray deliberately trying to get every chick they fuck pregnant because by the time they get 25, 26, and after all the drug dealing money days are done, after all the glory days of, you know, having been the baddest, coolest kid on the block are done, and now they're OGs with no car, no place to stay, no work history, nothing, and they can barely get a dime to sell because there's a new group of boys in town, 16, 17, who's ready to blast their ass, right? That's the only thing they have left to make them feel like they're somebody in manhood, is to go out and try to fuck every bitch they can to get them pregnant, so they can say they got kids. That makes them feel like they're somebody. The same way with the black chick. It's a class thing, really. It's a class thing. I only put the responsibility on the black woman because she, at least, fuck all the motherfuckers she can. But she has a choice not to get pregnant. A nigga can't make no bitch get pregnant. He can't. He has to get permission from someone. Anytime that there's a woman pregnant and there's a father of that child, that father got permission from that bitch, either explicitly or implicitly, to get that child. That's why I put the responsibility on black mothers. Because she has to give authority to a man to have a child. Now, I'm not going to go into details of how she gives that authority. It's fucking common sense. So until the black woman decides that she's tired of producing inferior children, I mean, what do you think is going to change? What do you think is going to change? Nothing. Nothing. It's going to be business as usual. Business as usual. You know? And if you haven't ever had these type of experiences, like I said, just go to a school. Go to a school, volunteer at a school. Elementary, middle school. Elementary mean middle school, definitely middle school. Volunteer in middle school in a city. I guarantee within a month you're gonna see some crazy shit. Of parents coming to school acting a fool. Parents. I mean, do you know that some school systems expel parents? Meaning that they can't come up arrested. So, I mean, I just don't understand how folks don't see that the kids are wild because the parents are wild. Everybody is fucking wild and uncouth. It's all right there before your eyes. So you need to think, what is causing these people to be so aggressive, so violent? It's not the white man. It's not because they don't have no job, right? There are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old young boys robbing old ladies. What the fuck they gotta do with poverty, right? See, folks keep coming up with excuses for their behavior. That's how I know they're part of the problem. They are these people I'm talking about. Because if you're not those type of people, that's unacceptable. There's something that's reasonable. Okay, drug dealing is reasonable. All right, I understand. The white man's whole, Pookie back, right? Pookie can't get a job. Pookie can't do shit because the color of his skin. Okay, I hear your argument. I think it's bullshit. But let me hypothetically say this. Let me assume that's correct. Then why would Pookie go and rape and pillage an old man, old woman, who's one of the last remaining people, baby boomers in their community? If it's all about getting money, right? If it's all about getting money, why do we have black women in the street corners fighting each other, jumping each other, if it's all about getting money? You right? See, that's how you know it's bullshit. If it was all about getting money, I would suspect it would be doing some 419 type shit. Google it, right? I'm not gonna, Google 419. Now that's somebody that's in poverty, not someone who's going around, raping or robbing old motherfuckers, robbing and raping young motherfuckers, and ain't doing shit just to go get some chicken wings from Popeyes. No, that's not a sign of impoverished people that are trying to rise up. That's a sign of a sick, impoverished group of people. They sick first, next, and then they're poor. They're not poor first, then they're sick. They were sick before they were poor. And in fact, if you give them millions of dollars, they just be rich, sick motherfuckers. Sick and rich. Go look at many of our entertainers right now and you can see them. Go look at the Lil Wayne. Look at the dude. Look at him. He looks sick. Yeah, he got a lot of money. A lot of people love him. But look at the motherfucker. Just look at him. Look at his so-called daddy, Birdman. He has a fucking star on his tattooed on his head. That's a sick individual. That's not no culture. That's not a culture. Yeah, it's a culture of economy. If you go and do the research, yeah, it's a culture. Yeah, I give it that. But that culture comes from the lowest class system in America, and that's the prison system. That's what that is. So what man in the right mind who has a way to make money would choose to live by a prison system that's the lowest of that population? A sick individual. It's that simple. It's just that simple. So giving money ain't gonna change the situation. It's not. Yeah, they're just gonna be, only thing that's gonna look different is they're gonna, rather than being in the old Jordans, they're gonna be in the new Jordans killing niggas, right? Rather than being in a a base model Charger, they're gonna be in a motherfucking, $100,000 BMW, right? 745 Li, some shit, right? That's what they're gonna be in, but they still gonna be doing that same nonsense shit. Money doesn't change that, so it has to be deeper than money, right? It can't be just poverty, right? Poverty is a factor, but it's not on the significant list. It's not significant, meaning that if you give them money and rise them out of poverty, then you would change the behavior. That means that it's a one-to-one, meaning that poverty is independent variable and their behavior is dependent. So you're giving them money, which should change their behavior for improvement, right? But it doesn't. In fact, it makes their behavior worse because now you have emboldened them, you have rewarded them for poor behavior. So now they're going to even really act silly. So it's not poverty, right? It's not white man in the system. To a certain degree, it is. But you got to remember that our families were intact during the Jim Crow era when we had no choice. We made it through the Jim Crow era. As soon as they let the gates open for us to leave so-called slavery into freedom, what happened? From one generation, the baby boomer generation, they were the ones who were the first ones who were getting hired for these affirmative action jobs in the 70s. And what did they do? They did the very thing that all the white scholars, racist scholars, eugenicists scholars wrote, that the Negro mind is feeble and freedom. And that's the first thing they did. First generation who was able to get access to the so-called American pie, which the baby boomer black class, right? Look up what a baby boomer, what ages they are, right? And when they were born. And the Generation X first class, and look what they did. Freedom without responsibility equals bondage. And from that point, this is where we are today. We've been creating inferior children, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. Our brothers and sisters couldn't even get to fucking class. Walking on dirt roads, walking a mile and shit, right? Going to class with, old books and shit, sharing books and shit. Motherfuckers' SAT scores was high. Go look it up. Go look up the SAT scores or the standardized test scores for blacks in the 50s, 60s. Right? to for the ones that were actually going to school in these cities, Philly, DC. Go look what they were doing. Throwing it out. But these Hotep sociologists would say that it's always been bad. And we've been in this condition since we left slavery. That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. The average black man, I'm saying the average black child and the average black person who had access to education is better than what they have today, and they have 100% access to education. So you can't keep blaming the white man or the system for this one. There's something else that's going on in our community. There's something else that's going on in our philosophy that needs to be addressed. All right? Before 1965, man, our families were intact. Intact. Right? That's a place in time where a man was happy to see his kids. Right? He might not like the woman he married, but he definitely loved his kids. He wanted the best for them. Because he knew how hard it was for him to get to what he had. And he figured that they would be the ones that was going to achieve that American dream. They were happy for that. But it's not that way now. It's not that way. It's not that way now. Today, people see kids as dead weight, an albatross on their neck. They see children as a hateful thing, and if they get caught up in situations where they have a kid, they turn on that child for the rest of their child's life. The child becomes enslaved to that parent. Child abuse is one of the real causes and why so many kids are violent. So many black people are violent. Why they can't interact with the police without getting shot. You got black people run up on, you got black men who standing 6'5", 6'6", 250, right? Thinking they could talk strong to another person in a cop uniform who's 5'10". You think you know that 5'10" officer is going to stun your ass, all right? Is it right? It's not about what's right or wrong, right? It's not. It's not about your emotions, how you feel about something. It's about how you reason. It's about survival. So at that moment, you play the game so you could survive, and then you carry your narrow ass to the police station and you file a grievance against those officers that impeded on your motherfucking civil rights. And yeah, I understand your point. I already know what you're thinking on how you're going to see this. Well, that's not going to change anything. Yeah, you're right. Maybe not for your case, but I guarantee you that that officer does that shit again, and that person goes report, eventually it's going to come up a red flag that this officer needs to be retrained, or there's something going on with this officer. But thinking you're going to shout at these officers, you know what I mean? You're not shouting, but, threatening these officers, showing that posturing against these officers, you don't think you're going to get fucked up? And then they're going to justify it because what? They're going to either have a video of you out there doing crazy shit, or they're going to have enough witnesses out there that saw you out there posturing, and what do you think that the judge is going to determine? That they were justified. Or they were justified by the law, but they're still going to lose their job, pay you some money, and then move on. But they're not going to jail. Why? Because there's so much child abuse in our communities that motherfuckers don't even understand how to interact with each other civilly. Black people don't even realize that just yelling and screaming is not a civil form of communication when you're trying to get something done. Now, of course, at the time of the moment, I understand, right? But I'm talking about when you go to the round table to discuss how to solve this problem with your family. As a matriarch or a patriarch of your family, shouting and cursing, shouting and standing up, posturing, showing that you're violent, showing that you're the biggest baddest, ain't doing shit. All it's going to do is just lead to some type of altercation when the police come and niggas is going to jail. And what they going to say? The white man did that too? It's pure savagery. What's going on in the black community? It is what it is. So, with that said, if you want to reduce some of the violence, I say sterilize, because I don't think we can stop child abuse. I can't say shit to a black woman without being called a fag, first and foremost. So I already know that I can't say shit to a woman, alright? I've seen some black women who try to say things to her fellow sisters about some of the things that's going on, and I saw how she was treated. So I've concluded that they're not listening to anyone, right? They're not. They're going to do what they want to do because we live in the land of the free. And because because we live in a land of free, these people do not realize the consequences of their so-called freedom. Again, freedom without responsibility equals bondage.